What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? First off, happy Halloween. This is going to be a little bit of a different video. I wanted to do a story on what happened. Now, I did originally do this story already on my TikTok, but I wanted to go ahead and tell you this on here. So, for those of you that came from TikTok, you know what's up. Thank you. I'm gonna repost this on TikTok. So for those of you who've already seen it, you're just gonna be rehearing the story. But for Halloween, if you guys don't already know, I love paranormal. I love crazy stories. I love spooky stories. I love all that stuff. I love Halloween. That's one of my favorite times of the year. And I've had a lot of creepy things happen to me in my life, but this one actually really took me by storm, and I had to think about this even when I told the story already, but I'm going to retell the story. So originally this happened last year, and it was on Halloween night, and my wife and I, we went to a haunted attraction, and we went there prior. We had a great time. We was like, hey, let's go ahead and do it again. Let's have some fun. And when we went, it took a while because we got there kind of early, but at the same time, they had a very long line. We stayed in the line for over almost 3 hours. It was beyond crazy. We were tired, we were hungry, and just tired of standing for almost 3 hours, man. I mean, and they tried to do other attractions, and it was like cool one or two, three times because the way to try to picture the environment for you guys, the way this attraction is, it's a very much of a an apocalypse meets zombie slash backwoods maniacs and crazy um mask clowns, and you know basically in the back 40 type stuff, like real crazy horror stuff. If you guys have seen something like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or some stuff like that, well, we already went through the first time, the first year when we went there, and I had like one jump scare. This time I had no jump scares, but I had an incident that really has stuck with me, and I want to talk to you guys about this. So we finally get to the attraction, to where we're gonna go through our haunted walk, so to speak, right? So we finally get there. It's dark, and when you go through the area, it was set up the same way. You go through the door, you go through a walk area out in the woods, you go through an old um, bus, and then you go down further in the walkway, you're further in the woods, and there's a little bit of lights around. It's really dark. There you can see the tree lines, and you can see they got other stuff set up, so you can kind of see they're trying to make it that spooky, scary vibe. But you have people coming out scaring people. You hear chainsaws out in the distance. You hear screams. You hear this. You hear that. So people, they're getting scared, having a good time. Paying what they paid for. I don't get scared very easily. I don't. Uh, I rarely get scared unless it has something to do with my family or has something to do with my animals. That's the main time I get really scared. But when it comes to anything, I would say spooky wise, I don't get scared too easy. But we were in a group with five other people. We were talking to them from like the last 2 hours. We became very friendly with them, and they're all like, "Hey, how many in your group?" We all looked at each other like, "Hey, we're all together now. Let's just go ahead and do this." And it was really cool. It was just one mom and her daughter, and then there was these two sisters and their nephew as well. So they're like, "Hey, let's just go ahead and do it. Let's just go through the haunted attraction together." So we went, and we're going through, and we get a little further in, right? So as soon as we do, I felt the hairs on my arm stand up. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. And I turn to my right and I see something about 20, 30 yards away from us. And it's all the way out in the woods area. And my wife looks at me and she goes, "Do you see that?" And I said, "See what?" And she showed me, she pointed. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's kind of weird." And this thing, which I don't know if it was someone in costume at the time or what it was, and it was about 9 feet tall. And for those of you that don't know, I'm 6 foot. And this thing was taller than me. Had some type of skull mask on, horns coming out of the head, had a black hoodie over it, and was just very tall, very lengthy arms. And you could barely see the fingers, and they were like 2 to 3 inches longer than the normal length of your fingers. And it didn't move, didn't do anything. And then as soon as someone came and scared my wife, she screamed really loud. And then we turned and looked in the same direction, and the thing, wherever this thing was, it was gone. And I'm like, okay, was that an actor or what the deal was? So we're, going through, and one of the ones was like, dang, whoever's got a set of pipes on them. And I was like, oh, that's my wife. And everybody started laughing. So we're going through. But what was so weird is that as easily as it went through my mind, it was gone. It was just in and out of my mind. And months later, I'm having this conversation with my wife, and I'm like, hey, do you remember when we went to the haunted house? She goes, yeah. And we started talking about it, and we started remembering things. And I told her, I said, well, when I looked at it, I said, I got you behind me. Like, I felt like this thing or this person or whatever was going to attack. And she goes, I noticed that. And what was really weird was we looked on their site, and there was no indication of this, whatever it was, being a part of the attraction. There was nothing around there that would be a part of this attraction. We looked for the last 3-4 years, even this previous year, nothing, just nothing. And I looked it up because something in my gut was telling me, look it up, look up what you saw. And my gut told me already what I think I saw. So I looked it up, and I got as close as I could to what I'm going to be showing you guys on this. And what you guys will probably see is a Wendigo. Now, for those of you that do not know what that is, there's a lot of history in that. They are meat eaters. They lose themselves in the wilderness from like a tribe or a frontiersman or a miner or hunter or someone that gets lost in the wilderness and they become a cannibal, survive, and then they become this, disgusting creature and have to survive on eating flesh. And the only thing to pierce it is fire, from everything that I've heard from the legends. Now, again, this is legends. I cannot deny nor confirm this is what I saw. I cannot deny nor confirm. It is still probably one of the most creepiest experiences I've ever had in my life. And this probably goes into the top 5. But I don't know if that's what I saw. I'm not going to say that's what I saw. But again, only me and I think my wife and I think one other person saw it. We asked the one, she said she saw something, did not know what it was. She kind of just played along with it. Again, who knows? Again, it was Halloween night. So for those of you that believe a lot in Halloween night, things can happen. But that's pretty much it. What do you guys think about this story? If those of you have already seen it on TikTok, let me know. It was a crazy story. It was. It's a crazy story. I know it probably sounds made up. It's not made up. I don't gain anything from this. I have no reason to lie about this. I have other stories that I could tell you guys if you want to hear them. But I figured I'd just tell you guys a kind of creepy story that happened to us. But this thing, man, it was just... It looked menacing. It did, man. It was very tall, very lengthy. The hood type deal, the long, wooden, what looked to be wooden horns or antlers or whatever. It was just weird. But let me know what you guys think about this. Hope you guys enjoy your Halloween. Stay safe out there. Be smart. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but just be smart and be safe. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.